Today is day 271 of the podcast, and I want to begin by reading from Revelation 12, verse 11. They overcame him because of the blood of the Lamb, because of the word of their testimony, and they did not love their life even unto death. I want to talk about how a story, the elements of a story today. And a good story has a number of common characteristics to it. All good stories do. There's an initial hook that an author will use. It's the way the author gets the attention of the reader to begin with. And then there's an element of desire that's included. Someone in the story has a goal or a desire to achieve. The third element often is that there's some kind of conflict that arises, some opposition that keeps or interferes with that character's ability to reach their goal or achieve their purposes. Within the framework of the story, there's often a number of challenges or obstacles that they face, and then often a climax or a resolution to those challenges that they faced. So God did not set out to just write a good story. He is the story, and history, the word history, comes from his story. And we can think about his story being the underlayment for all other stories. He is the living word, and we are inserted into the midst of the story that he's writing and has been writing through all creation. We are participants in the greatest story that's ever been told. And it's true. This is a true story. There is a face to conflict in the story that he's telling. And this face to conflict, the face of this conflict, is a being known as Satan, known as the deceiver, the accuser of the brethren, Lucifer, the evil one. Conflict in God's story has a face. And we are part of God's plan. We've been written into the story. And 1 John 3:8, where it says Jesus came to destroy the works of the devil, we get to participate in that part of the story as well. You know, all human stories pitch good against evil in some way. All of the stories that have that kind of opposition taking place, movies that you've seen, books that you've read, they find their source material in this large work that we're participating in. The fantasies that have been written often have a ring of truth to the story that God has us participating in. Now, in Scripture and in books, the final chapter usually declares the winner. So we know what the final chapter is, and Revelation helps us see the conclusion of God's great story. Let's live as though we believed it were true. So today's question: how are you able to recognize spiritual conflict? And what is your best defensive tactic?